Of the Holyoke Heritage Trail that I designed, and it's going to include stops number 7 up to 11, and we're going to cover a couple parks in High Street and then the library. And I hope you get out of the car and you stop or get off your bike, or if you're walking, that's great. But you can break it up any way you want to, and that's why I'm talking to you. I want to encourage you to take it slowly. If you do it all one day, that's fine, but you can do it 2 or 3 days. Now, when I was a very young person, I did the Boston's Freedom Trail, which was 16 stops and 5 miles. So I designed Holyoke's Heritage Trail as 16 stops and 5 miles. Right, and we're at now Prospect Park, which is now called Pulaski Park. So we're going to start here, and I'll explain it. But this is a great place also to see the start of the Holyoke Canal System. All right, and of course, if you have any questions about all the stops, you can email me or just look at my webpage. Every stop has a webpage. Every stop has a video, right, and a podcast. Every stop has pictures and text, so you can follow along with it. So we're at stop number 7, and at stop 7, this is Hampden Park, or now called Pulaski Park again. In this park was a very old park going back to 1840s. Officially became a park 1884. You can see its Curvin Pass, and the Curvin Pass were made by the Olmsted brothers. And hopefully you come here and you enjoy the park in slow motion fashion. This is also the place where a lot of immigrants first came into Holyoke. Most of the house buildings are gone. They knocked them down, but you still see the Matador Parish was here at school, and Social Center is still around. And what we're going to do next is we're going to go up to Veterans Park. Veterans Park used to be called Hampden Park. It's now a location where most of the deceased members of wars that Holyoke had men fighting, they now have memorials there if they died during the course of the war. So, for instance, there's a World War II memorial with 212 names on it. Right, and what we're going to do is circle around it so that off to our right, we'll be able to see the park the whole time. All right, so we'll do a 360 around it. Since it's a rectangle, it will be in a rectangle. Now, there also is the Civil War right in the middle. That's a Columbia statue. And there's also a Korean War memorial. There's also a Vietnam Veterans Memorial. There's a Medal of Honor memorial in there. But there's no Spanish-American War memorial, although 8 men from Holyoke died. And that memorial plaque is in the State Armory, which is on Sargent Street. There's also, not here, a World War I memorial, and that memorial itself is in the War Memorial Building. So if you look straight in the park, you see Columbia. All right, that's what we're pointing out right now. And in front of us is not a part of the Heritage Trail, but it should have been. It is, of course, the St. Jerome's School, Church, and Rectory. But I do write it up as part of it. Okay, and what we're going to do now is we're going to finish going around this park, and then we're going to try to get up to 5 blocks up High Street. Okay, we're going to pause it for about a minute, and then we're going to meet you up 5 blocks up High Street. Okay, we're now on the Northern High Street Historic District. We're passing by the Congregational Church. We're passing by lots of buildings on both sides that are some quite high, some lower, but all of them are the originals from about 140 years ago, the 1880s, when High Street started to get built up. Now, this is stop 8 on the tour, and I hope that you get to see a lot of these buildings. There's 100 buildings in this northern 5 blocks of High Street, and most of them are still there in place. The Steiger building is going to be on our left soon, all of its 4 parts. And then on the right, there'll be City Hall very quickly. And And then McCausland Wake, the building on the left. And the Caledonia on our left. And the Allen building on our right with the Oriole building. And there's many buildings to point out. I can't mention 100 of them in a 1-minute drive. And then this is the last block, the right block, the Fuller block are on your right. And the oldest one is going to be on our immediate left. In fact, it's probably from 1847. It's the very last one, right? So this stop is very important, but you can't take it driving. You got to get out and walk it, or take your bike and look at it slowly. All of it is described in my tour, and I hope that you come to see it. Now what we're going to do is get back up to pause it. We're by the Congregational Church. This one's now called United Congregational Church. It used to be Second Congregational Church. Across from City Hall, across Dwight Street, it used to be, but in the 1880s it moved up to this corner of Maple, between Maple High and Appleton. So you get to see it's a gorgeous brownstone. You can see it's Romanesque on this side, and it's Gothic on the front side. And you're going to see a chapel along its side called the Skinner Chapel. That is also Gothic. And so it's mostly Gothic, and we'll point to it as we go by it. You see the slightly browner Skinner Chapel. And that was our stop number 10. Now our stop number 11 will be the Holyoke Public Library, which is just a meeting on our side. But the whole library commons area is very special. The Presbyterian Church is in the distance. The Lawrence School is around here. The Sons of Zion, the Art Deco Telephone Company, the Maplewood Hotel are all very close by. So this deserves a walk around and reading about it in great numbers. So this is the end of our part 2 of the Holyoke Heritage Trail. I hope you join us for next part 3.